trades that we took this quarter. I really hope you guys will benefit, you'll get value out of this video, because I'm gonna be going through the management, I'm gonna be going through the entry, I'm gonna be going through the patterns that we were able to spot going into those other blocks. I will be doing the top-down analysis, how we actually got to that actual trade, and then I will go as well as how we were able to manage, and how we got how we got out of that trade. So this will be a valuable lesson. I hope you guys will take a lot of value out of this video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, do all that great stuff for the YouTube algorithm. And then if you are new to this channel, do not forget to subscribe. Ring that notification bell so that you'll be in the loop every time we drop a video. So gents, without wasting any time, let's get straight to the video. So gents, as you guys can see from your screen, CHFJPY was one of the trades that we were able to capitalize for this quarter. One of the best. The management was amazing. The entry was amazing. I missed the first entry, but then I was able to catch a very nice entry on smaller time frame, and then we were able to capitalize all the way to the upside, right? So I'm just gonna take you guys through the idea, how the trade came about, and then the management, the entry, everything. I'm gonna take you guys through everything. So at that moment, price was around, let me just quickly do this. I just want to get the replay button. But then at that moment, price was around those areas there, when we realized that, you know what, we are in a very clear uptrend, and then we can definitely take advantage of this one. So let me just quickly cut price till somewhere around those areas there. So this is exactly where we started seeing that price will most probably start pushing to the upside, because we knew that obviously in a bigger time frame we are in a very clean uptrend. As you guys can see, price has been breaking highs to the upside. As you guys can see, we broke this high here, which is exactly what we want to see, right? We want to see if price is pushing to the upside. For us to take advantage, we want to see price breaking highs, right? So we had this break of structure here. I'm just gonna write B for the sake of time, and then copy and paste. And then we also broke structure again around these areas here, right? We also broke structure around those areas there, and we knew that, you know what, obviously we want to see price breaking structures and coming back to other blocks. So in our case, as you guys can see from the screen, price broke structure here, started pushing to the upside, created a new structure. We broke it here, as you guys can see, started pushing to the upside. So that the trade idea came when price was around these areas here. We knew that by the looks of things, look at how price is pushing to the downside, very corrective, showing that, you know what, it will most probably start pushing to the upside. And then we started looking for those nice areas that we can take our entries from. Let me just quickly zoom in a bit so that you guys can see, right? So let me just go ahead and do that. So we knew that, okay, price was pushing to the upside. We started looking for our areas of interest. We got as you guys can see, if you can check here, we had a very big candle momentum pushing to the upside, showing that smart money was involved. So that was a very good sign, right? And also had these areas of liquidity here. If you can extend it up to those areas, you will see that this is a very nice area of liquidity. And then after identifying those two, we started looking for our OB, which is this 4 hours order block, which was around those areas, as you guys can see. So this is our OB. We're just gonna go ahead and identify that clearly, right? So as you guys can see, price is very corrective going into that. So that was our second sign. Let me just go ahead and put in that triangle. Let me just go ahead and have this triangle here. So this is our order block. Just gonna go ahead and remove these lines so that our chart will be a bit clean. So as you guys can see, look at our prices pushing to that area. Very, very corrective, giving us signs that, you know what, this will most probably start pushing to the upside. This is exactly what we want to see. We have that as our first touch, second touch, right? And then we're anticipating the last touch so that we can buy, right? So that we can buy. And then this pattern, if you can check, it's in correlation with our order block. This is exactly what we want to see. And then if we play price forward, now let me just do this so that it doesn't move too fast. As you guys can see, price tapped into that and then immediately moved off, right? Immediately after giving us the third touch. Our entry should have been here, stop loss just below, because if you can check, even our stop loss is not that big. So this is exactly what we wanted to see. But with our entry, I didn't enter exactly there, but then I went down to, I think I caught it from 15 minutes, if not 5 minutes, so which was really, really good as well. So as you guys can see, if we zoom in on 15, you will see we also had a very nice pattern that we could have used to enter this trade, right? Let me just take price all the way till there, right? So if you guys can check, we also had a very, very nice reversal pattern on 15 minutes, that being our first touch, this being our second touch, and then we could have entered on the third touch. The third touch is in correlation with the order block, and then is in correlation with our bigger pattern. So this was gonna be really, really, really nice. So as you guys can see, price started taking off immediately after that. Our entry should have been here, and then obviously our stop loss was gonna be here. As you guys can see, it was gonna be something like not a lot of pips actually. So this is exactly what we're looking for. Let's say our entry was supposed to be here on the third touch, right around those areas there. I just want to show you guys the stop loss level that is not that big. So as you guys can see, it's about 32 32 32 pips, which is not big. Very, very nice entry, but then we ended up missing that because we were not around the chart. But then we were looking at how price came to the downside. We've been breaking lows to the downside, so this was the last low that was broken. We had a very nice break of structure around there, and then this was the last high that the market printed. So for us, it was very important to see the market taking out the high, which it did, as you guys can see. And then look at how price took out this high, right? Very, very, if you can check the last candle that broke that high, it was very, very aggressive, leaving imbalance. And then we knew that, okay, price will most probably come for this 15 minutes order block, and then this is exactly where we entered, right? Exactly where. So yeah, gents, our entry was exactly at this order block. As you guys can see, massive pushes to the upside. We changed character here. Gonna write change of character, and then we knew that this order block will most probably play out. We had multiple order blocks that we were looking at, but then this one had a very high potential, right? We even went on to 5 minutes, and then we got a very nice pattern somewhere around those areas, something like so. As you guys can see, very, very nice. You can even see the pattern from 15 minutes, right? So this was the pattern as our continuation pattern. Then the entry was exactly at this point here, right? Exactly at this point here. And then our stop loss just below, right there. We had something like 19 pips, which is really, really tight. Very, very good. And then our target, if you can go to H4, that was our entry, and then our target we were looking for, because remember, gents, for us to take partials, we look for what is being happening. If you can check, price has been breaking lows, pushing to the downside. So we knew that, you know, price can easily push higher to this area and then respect this area. So this will be one of our targets for this trade. But then we know that overall price can easily push all the way to the upside, right? So this was one of our targets. And then look at the percentage. 1:22, very, very clean. So as you guys can see, price started playing, and then as you guys can see, boom, price engaged quite aggressively to the upside. So I think we took some partials, because on 15 minutes, we having order blocks around those areas. I took some partials around those areas, and then after that move, as you guys can see, price broke structure. and then I moved some trades to break even, right? And then I took some partials here because I entered with multiple trades, and then my overall target was around here. I knew that should price take out the high, I would be looking for more opportunities, right? So this was CHFJPY. Let's play price to see if we were able to get to our overall targets. Took time, but then I was very patient with it. Started pushing to the upside some more, and then we knew that we are close to our take profits. And then I think when price got to this high, I took more partials. And price got to this high, I took more partials, right? Because price reacted of this, it can easily come back again and react of that. So this was the longest one. This was the longest trade, but then it tested my emotions, which is really good to see that you are strong enough, right, as a trader. And then price started playing around those areas again some more, and then I was looking for more opportunities on other pairs as well. I took some more partials around those areas there, which is 20 something percent. And then maybe I was left with one or two trades running. And then before long, price eventually went on to my take profit, my overall take profit, which was really good to see. And then I banked over, let me see, I banked over 19% out of this trade. Yeah, I think it was 19%, which is really good. And then that was CHFJPY, gents. Very nice trade. It was really good, because it took long enough, and then it tested me. This is when our overall target was met, and it took a while, to be honest. It took a while. We had an opportunity around this area to re-enter this market to the upside, but then I didn't want to get involved because I think I was involved with other pairs. So that's why we had a very nice opportunity. We broke structure here. If you guys can check, we broke structure here. Price left us this nice order block, came back, tapped into that OB, gave us a pattern. Obviously, we're looking for patterns most of the time. So this was one of the biggest trades we took this quarter. And then if you guys can go to my Instagram, you will see that we were able to take it. Very nice. I will try to include some screenshots so that you guys can see that we actually were able to take this trade to the upside. So yeah, gents, that was CHFJPY. We were able to take 25% out of this trade, so which is really good. Our stop loss was like 19 pips, and then we were able to take where is that? We were able to take 502 pips. So this was one of the best. We were only risking 19 pips for 502 pips. So which is very good, guys. So obviously in this one we're still looking for more upside, because if you guys can check, let me just do this quickly. If you guys can check, we are still in a very clean uptrend. As you guys can see that we are in a very clean uptrend. And then this is a confirmation, because if you can check this piece of price action, I'm sorry about that. If you can check this piece of price action, price has been breaking to the downside. We had this last low here, and then as you guys can see, we currently took out the high, I mean, not the low, sorry about that. We actually took the high out, and then now we are sure that, you know what, price has a very high potential of pushing further to the upside. So obviously price is somewhere around those areas, came back to this. I think we had a H4 order block, came back for that, and then it's currently pushing to the upside. We looking for more opportunities, gents. So that's CHFJPY. We're gonna move on to our next pair. So, gents, the other best trade that we took was on Nasdaq. Um, as you guys can see, Nasdaq was pushing to the downside, breaking lows. As you guys can see that this was the last break that we had to the downside on Nasdaq, and then this is the last high, right? On a bigger time frame, I'm looking on a daily time frame, as you guys can see, right? So now, with this one, we had two key areas that we were looking at. One of them being this one here. and then price came to that area. We even got a very nice, I think, buy opportunity around this area that we took. I think it was here, and then we were able to capitalize as well. But then in this case, we're looking at the buy that we had around those areas there. We have this area of order block, and then also have this area of order block. As you guys can see, price came to this area, mitigated that area, started pushing to the downside, right? And then now, with our opportunity, we got a very nice buying opportunity from there. So the whole idea of this was, obviously, now price was pushing to the downside, price is going to either this order block or that order block, right? So that was the thinking process at that moment. And then we knew that price can easily give us, obviously, with our strategy, we're looking for patterns going into those nice order blocks. So as you guys can see, we had this as our first touch, second touch, anticipating the third touch. So we knew that this order block can be the one that will push price to the downside because of this pattern that is building up around those areas there, right? And then we also have this nice pattern down here, as you guys can see, that being our first touch, second touch, and then obviously we anticipating price to push all the way till this area here before pushing to the downside. Obviously, with ourselves, we're going to be looking for this 90% rule. Remember, when 90% of the time when price building patterns, 90% of the time price does push back to where the pattern started. So this is exactly where the pattern started. So let me just go ahead and talk about the trade. So as you guys can see, I went on to focus in this piece of price action here that I'm currently looking at. This one here, price was breaking lows, as you guys can see, and then we had this last high, this one here, right? So this last high was taken out, as you guys can see. So now we consider this area as a very nice change of character, and then price pulled back to this order block down here, started pushing to the upside again, and then we broke structure around these areas here, right? We had a very nice break of structure there. Let me just identify that. Okay, we had that very nice break of structure there, right? So we know that, well, we're having this low here. For the market to start pushing to the downside because of this high there, let me just do this quickly. Let me just take price back to these areas here, um where I took the trade from, right? So let me take price to that area there. So obviously now, for the market to change character because of this order block, remember we had this order block, price reacted off that order block and started pushing to the downside. We knew that price can easily push all the way to the downside, right? But then should we're still in an uptrend. We knew that we're still in an uptrend because of this low. If we take out this low, that's when we're gonna have a very nice change of character, because this was the last low that was printed in the market. We broke the high, market left us the low. We knew that this was the last low that the market printed for us. For as long as we're trading above this low, we are still in an uptrend. We're still looking for buying opportunities, right? So let me just zoom in a bit. So as you guys can see, when price was around those areas there, we had a very nice order block from H4 around those areas, and then we identified this area as a very nice liquidity area. We knew that eventually this will be taken out because of we having liquidity around those areas. That was the thinking process at that moment. Let me just try to identify everything clearly so that it will not confuse you guys. We had that nice break of structure there. Then we went on to H4 time frame. We went on to H4 time frame, and then that's when we were able to get our order block, right? As you guys can see, we had a very clean order block from H4 time frame, and then we wanted to see how price will come to those areas. Remember, with our strategy, we want to see price pulling back, giving us those nice what do we call those nice patterns, right? So we're just gonna go ahead and play price. So as you guys can see, price started pushing to those order blocks. So as you guys can see, around those areas, we had a very nice order block. price reacted nicely on that order block, which was really good. And then we had a pattern. If we go to H1 time frame, I just want to go there to show you guys that we should have been in around those areas there already, but then unfortunately was not around when that happened. We had this nice pattern going into that order block, this being first touch, second touch, third touch. We even had our fourth touch, and then our fourth touch was in correlation with the order block. So that's where we could have entered the market, right? So with that being said, we missed the first entry, but then we knew that there are still opportunities in the market, right? So we started looking for those opportunities. As you guys can see, we focused in this piece of price action when price pushed to that order block. This was a very clean downtrend, price being taking lows. As you guys can see, we took out the low here, we took out the low here, and then this was the last high that the market printed, right? So we wanted to see this high being taken out. It was very important for us to see this high being taken out for us to start looking for those nice opportunities, right? So I was very aware that we're just gonna be waiting to see the market taking out the high, and then like as you guys can see, price took out the high, printed this nice order block for us, and then we had this area here is a very nice liquidity area, right? So this was very clean, very exciting. We had that nice order block around those areas there, and then we were looking to see how price will come back to this area, and then we were gonna be looking to take those nice opportunities to the downside. Let me just play price. As you guys can see, price started playing around, came straight to that order block, and then started moving off. So let me just take price back till this areas here. No, I don't want to exit. Okay, let's take price all the way till around those areas there. That's where we started looking to take our opportunities to the upside. If we can go to 15 minutes, and then see. And then I think I've refined my order block to this 15-minute order block, and then because of the stop losses, the stop loss reasons and all that stuff, then this is where my entry was. Stop loss was just below the order block, and then obviously I was looking to take this all the way to the upside. So this was one of the best trades. We had multiple opportunities to re-enter this market. I don't want the market to push too fast, because we had a lot of opportunities to re-enter this market, but then I ended up entering immediately when price got to this area here. This is where I entered the market exactly here, and then stop loss was around those areas there. Very nice entry, and then price did not take time, and then we started pushing to the upside, right? And then we went on. If you can go to 5 minutes, we will see that we had multiple opportunities in this trade. If we missed the first entry, we could have entered on the second one, even the third one, or those we could have used those as our what do we call our re-entry, right, to capitalize profits. So price started playing around. Already we were in profit at that moment, and then price started creating this new low and then this high here, and then the high was taken out. As you guys can see, price created a high here, right, and then the high was taken out, so we will use that as a very nice break of structure. As you guys can see, super clean, right? Super clean break of structure. And then now we started identifying our new areas that we can take opportunities again from, which is this one here. And then price went on to that area, tapped in. As you guys can see, it even went below to this one here, to this order block that we have in down there, and then started moving off all the way to the upside. So if we were to enter of this, obviously we were gonna be taken out, right? So at that moment, we waited for price to take a new high, as you guys can see that, and then we started having new opportunities again, right? Price took out the high here, beautiful. took out the high. As you guys can see, we had another opportunity to re-enter this market, but unfortunately I didn't. I was already in with enough trade, so that's the reason why I did not re-enter this trade. So we just waited to see price went on to that area and then tapped us in and started moving off almost immediately. So as you guys can see, price tapped into that this order block, started moving off. We have a new high again, which is this one here. So after this high was taken out, price came back for that order block again to give us another opportunity to to get involved in this market. So this was very nice because we had many opportunities to enter this market. So let's just play price. Just play price. Let me just increase the time so that the market will move quickly. Came back to that order block, tapped in. As you guys can see, another opportunity. This was the first opportunity was here. Second opportunity to enter this market. We broke structure again for the third opportunity. So this was gonna be very nice. This was supposed to be really nice for those who are looking to scale in every opportunity. But then this was really nice. We had this first entry here, second entry, and then this was our third entry, and then after that the market moved off completely, right? So if you can go to, so the management on this one was simple. After price reacted of that order block, we moved our stop losses to somewhere around here, right? Somewhere around here to protect over 1%, which was really good. And then after that, price started pushing all the way to the upside, right? All the way to the upside, all the way to the upside. And then I remember I took some partials around these areas here, because we were at the high, obviously. So this was 6%. I took some partials, but then my overall target was the high, right? I was looking for this pattern, because remember 90% of the time price do go back to where the pattern started. So in our case, this is where the pattern started. So this was gonna be a very nice area to target again. So this, we targeted the high, and then price eventually went on to get to go ahead and give us those maximum profits. So this was an easy trade, and then we were able to take 11% out of this trade, which was really good. Price started pushing back down. We were looking for this order block for our re-entry, right? I was looking to, because remember we changed character here, we broke structure here on H1 time frame, we broke structure around here. So I was looking to see if price was gonna push back to this order block, and then we were looking to re-enter this market from here. But then unfortunately price did not come back for that OB after breaking that. But then if it did, we were gonna be looking to take this further to the upside. So this was our 11% win on Nasdaq. We could have took our entries early somewhere around those areas there, but then unfortunately we were not around. But so this was wonderful. This was a very beautiful trade. We were able to capitalize and take 11% out of the market. And then the other one, gents, I think it's GBPUSD. Let's go to GBPUSD. So agents, with GBPUSD on a daily time frame, this is what we saw. Price was pushing to the downside, breaking lows. As you guys can see that we've been breaking lows. We broke this low here, we broke that low there, right? So now this was the last low that was taken out in the market from daily time frame, as you guys can see. And then this was the last high that we had in the market, right? So price started pushing to the downside, started pushing back. We had this order block as our area of interest, even this one to the downside, but then unfortunately price did not respect either of those, changed character around those areas there. Then we knew that we are most probably going to start a new trend, which is an uptrend, as you guys can see. right? So now we expected price to start giving us those nice continuation patterns because price is pushing to the upside. As you guys can see, we changed character, then we were looking for something like so as a very nice continuation pattern. This being our first touch, second touch. We anticipated the third touch for the market to start pushing to the upside. So this was the thinking process on a daily time frame. Then we knew that price will most probably react of this order block, or even this one here. We can have price extending out for this order block, or we can get a better order block from H4 time frame, because most of the time the order blocks that do play out are order blocks from H4 time frame, right? So this was the thinking process, and then we went down to H4 to see if we can, because price is pushing to the downside, had to come to the downside for that order block that we for the third touch actually, and then for the order block that we have from H4, which was somewhere around somewhere. This is the order block that I'm talking about. This one down here, right? So this is the order block that we expected price to push up to, right? Price could have easily pushed up to this one, because you can see that with this candle that smart money was involved, right? Let me just zoom in a bit. We had this area as a very nice order block, even this one here, because this one is very much high probability order block. Why? Because of, you can see smart money was involved. We want to see this gap, right? So this gap had to be filled, but then obviously doesn't have to be filled now. It can always fill it later on. But then we knew that there's a very high chance that price will come for that uh, area there. So with that being said, we started looking to see what's happening in this piece of price action. As you guys can see, we've been breaking highs, and then this was the last high that was taken out, as you guys can see that. And then we had this low here. This was the last low that the market printed, and then now the market took the low out. We knew that price had to come to the downside, so we saw this area as a very nice change of character, right? So this area is a very nice character. Let me just fix this. First touch, second touch, anticipated the third touch, and maybe the market to expand to mitigate this order block, right? So now what happened? Price changed character, started pushing to the upside, came for this H4 order block up here, right? Came for this H4 order block that we have up here, mitigated the order block, started pushing to the downside, right? So in this case, we started seeing this area here. If we move, if you can check, right, this was a downtrend. Series of lows was taken out, as you guys can see, that series of highs as well, and then now the high was taken out. So now this is a very nice change of character. Price started pushing to the upside, giving highs, breaking highs, right? Meaning that this was a very clean uptrend. We've been taking highs, as you guys can see that this was the last high that was taken out, and then we printed this high, and then price started pushing to the downside, right? So the last low that we saw in the market, the last clear low, was this one here. As you guys can see, price took out the low. We had this area as a very nice change of character, right? So after that, we started, because we know that price has to go to the downside for that area there, right? So we knew that, okay, most probably price will start pushing back up, either for this order block here or this one here, right? So we started identifying our order blocks. Let me just zoom in a bit. So as you guys can see, we're having this nice area here as a very clear order block. So we're looking to see how price will push back to those areas. We get what we want to see. We're gonna be looking to take this to the downside some more. So as you guys can see, price started playing around. We saw price pulling back to those areas. Sort of mitigated that order block and started pushing to the downside. But then at this time, we did not have a very nice right. Okay, let me I just want to take price back a bit, just a little bit. Where's that? Just want to take price back, chill somewhere around those areas there, right? So with that being said, we saw price came back for that, but then we did not have a very nice pattern, right, to enter this market. So we knew that there's a very high chance that price will come back again. for this order block. And then with GBP USD, we know that it violates order blocks sometimes. It violates order blocks and then start moving afterwards, right? So with that in mind, we knew that okay, we our stop loss should be a bit our stop loss should be a bit higher, or we just gonna wait to see what price will do, right? So now with that case, we went on to H1, we identified the H1 order block, and then we started using this area here as a very nice liquidity area, right? We use this area as very nice liquidity area. And then obviously with our strategy, we want to see patterns, right? Not every time, obviously. Sometimes we will not get those patterns and still get involved in trades, right? So we started seeing this as our first touch, second touch, then we anticipated the third touch, right? So this was really, really nice because we knew that with this one, GBPUSD likes to violate order blocks before pushing to the direction. So we had that in mind. So we started looking to see how price will get to those areas. As you guys can see, we had news event price went straight to that order block. Our entry was somewhere around this area here. You can even go ahead and check on Instagram. This was something that we were able to catch. Stop loss just above the week, somewhere around those areas there. And then we were looking for, actually in this one we were able to catch two trades, right? We were able to catch two trades on this one. I will also try to show you guys the screenshots. If I will get them somewhere, I will also try to link them here so that you guys can see that we actually did take this trades, right? So that happened, and then price started pushing to the downside. Price started pushing to the downside. We're in profits already when price took out the low. Obviously, when price was somewhere around those areas, because we knew that okay, we broke the high, so we knew that this piece of price action here was an uptrend, right? So when price got to this area here, to this order block here, we knew that price can easily push to the upside again, right? So we started being very, very aggressive with our management. Took some profits. I remember I took some profits. I entered with multiple trades. I took some, I think it was like 6%. I took some 6%. Then I left some running. At this moment, we were exactly at break even. I was looking for the low actually, but then we knew that price had to go to the downside, right? I was looking for the low, and then I remember, man, I had another entry, yeah, somewhere around those areas. Let me just pause. Right, I had another entry somewhere around those areas. I remember we were in a very clear downtrend because we took out the low. So for me, this was a very clear change of character down here, where there's very clear change of character. And then I was able to identify this area here as a very nice order block. As you guys can see that we had this nice order block. Price came back to that order block, very corrective, as you guys can see, very, very corrective. We were looking for the low still, but then we knew that price can push further to the downside. So this was the second entry here, and then stop loss obviously was just above, right? And then with the first entry, our stop loss was there as well. Started and then as price took out this the low this trend line at the bottom, we moved to break even on this one. Then we wanted to see if price was gonna get here for us to take some profits on the first entry, and then see if we're gonna push further to the downside, right? So we were somewhere around those areas there. And then let me just play price. As you guys can see, started playing around. We took out the low, which was really good to see. And then after we took out the low, I was very, very aggressive with the management. We started locking more profits. Even on the first one, we started locking more profit. And then I think when price came back, it took us out somewhere around those areas. So we were able to take 2% out of this the second trade, which is really good as well. it shows that we're managing our trades. And then on the first trade, I was able to take 9%. So 9 plus 2, we were able to take 11% out of this trade, which was really, really good. So this was one of the best trades that we took this quarter. And then let's go ahead and look for the other trade that we took. So I just the other pair that we were able to capitalize on was US 30. So this one was not too long ago. I think it was like last week or last of last week, not too long ago. This was one of the best. So as you guys can see, we were looking to see if we can go to H4 just to give you guys a little bit of background. Let's go to H4. Right. So as you guys can see, price is in a very clear downtrend. We've been breaking lows, as you guys can see that, right? So we knew that, okay, US 30 is in a very clear downtrend, and then we were looking for areas, right? We had this area here as a very nice order block. So we knew that price can easily push back to this area here. And then now we started focusing in this piece of price action here. I think we even went down to H1. So as you guys can see, price was pushing, taking out lows. As you guys can see, we took out this low, and then this was the last high that we had, right? So price came, took out the high, came back. We had a nice order block from H4. This was gonna be a very nice first entry, but unfortunately we couldn't take this one. And price started pushing off to the upside. We broke the high, which is this one here. So just because this is the most important high, I just need to identify that so that you guys can see that, right? So we had a very nice break of structure. And then we moved on to H1 time frame to see if we're having nice order blocks that we can use, and then also the patterns that we can use. So in this case, we were able to identify this nice order block here. We started, let me just go ahead and identify this nice order block, which is this one here. I hope you guys are learning from our analysis, gents. I hope you guys are learning. And then we knew that, okay, now price came back for this, but then we did not have a pattern, right? But then we knew that, okay, price mitigated this. I wouldn't be surprised to see price coming back at that moment. I was not surprised to see price coming back for that. And then that's where I was gonna be looking to take our trades to the upside on the third touch, right? So let me just go ahead and place that. Third touch estimated was somewhere around those areas. Stop loss, I'm just gonna give it a little bit of room, but then obviously our stop loss was tight because of this order block, right? And then the situation of the third touch. So this was really, really nice. This was our first touch, second touch, obviously. And then we knew that, okay, our overall target will be around those areas there. But then we knew that price can easily go be above this area there, right? So we were looking at 13%, even more, right? 13% even more. So obviously with this one is very volatile. So imagine risking 1,000 rands for for 14,000 rand. So which is really good. That's a very if you make your maths, it's very good. Imagine losing 1,000 rands for 14,000 rand. It means now you were risking 1%, and then like 1%, your 1% was 1,000 rand, and then you were gonna get 14,000 rands, which is a lot, right? And then now we were looking to see if price was gonna come back to that area. Price came back to that area, gave us the third touch, mitigated this order block. I was in already. I was in somewhere around there. I was in somewhere around those areas. Stop loss was super tight, and then I was looking for this high here, right? And then price started pushing to the upside. I took some partials around these areas here because I entered with multiple trades. We knew that, okay, the reason why I took some partials around this area, let me tell you guys. I saw this as price pushing to the downside, taking out lows, as you guys can see that. So this was a very nice order block because we changed, we broke structure here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see price reacting off that and pushing to the downside. because of these reasons, right? But then we took some partials here, which was around 6%, which is still good as well. But then we had this as an overall target, right? So let's just play price to see if price was able to get to that area. Then price started playing around. We changed character here. Then we were looking for this order block again to re-enter this market to capitalize, right, with more profit. But then price did not come for that order block and then pushed completely to the upside. As you guys can see, we pushed all the way to the upside. And then this was one of the best. This was one of the best. And then eventually price took us out, right? Eventually price took us out with over 16%, which was really, really good. So as you guys can see, this was the simple setup that we had. Everything was in line, as you guys can see. We changed character here. Let me just show you guys. We changed character there. We took out the high, as you guys can see, right? Took out that high. We changed character, very, very nice. And then after changing character, price came down for this order block here. Unfortunately, if I was there, if I saw this, I was gonna take it, right? Price came down for this order block. We had this nice pattern again. So unfortunately, I was not there. With this one, I was gonna take it to the upside as well. But unfortunately, I was not focusing. I think I was focusing on Nasdaq by that time this setup played out, right? So obviously my entry was gonna be down here, stop loss down here, obviously, and then I was gonna be looking for this high even more, right? Because I knew that price had to come for this order block up here. So this was gonna be an easy trade for me to hold it all the way till that area there, right? My entry was supposed to be here on the third touch of this pattern, stop loss just below the order block, which is somewhere around those areas there. And then first target was going to be here, which is 12%. And then our overall target was going to be around those areas because on H4 time frame the order block starts from there. So our overall target was going to be around those areas there, so which was going to be very, very clean, right? Which was going to be 17%, very, very clean setup, because we changed character, came back to the order block, gave us a very nice pattern in correlation with this order block. Stop loss was tight, target was solid, and then we could have walked away with 17%. But then unfortunately, we were not there. We were able to catch the second entry, which was like 16% as well. The management was amazing on this one as well, gents. So the other one that I had was, I think it was GBP Let's quickly go ahead and check. So gents, let's do USDZAR instead of GBP CHF, right? So with this one, gents, this was one of the best not too long ago. It was last week, I think, that we were able to capitalize on this one. This was also shared on my YouTube. I think I also shared it on IG. So if you were able to catch it, congrats. So as you guys can see, USD ZAR on the daily time frame, we are in a very clean uptrend. We've been breaking highs, as you guys can see that. And then now we broke the high, which is this one here. We just broke this high, right? So this, we consider this area here as a very nice break of structure. So we know that, okay, structure has been broken. We can expect price to pull back, right, to maybe this order block here, or even this one down up here, like this one here, right? Price can easily push back to those order blocks. We know that after breaking structure, and then we're still in an uptrend, obviously, up until we take out this low, right? Even now, price is still in an uptrend up until we take out this low, right, on a daily time frame. Okay, with that being said, we went on to H4 time frame to see what's happening, right? So obviously we went ahead and focused in what's happening, right? Let me just go ahead and what's happening now, right? I just want to grab that quickly. 100%. So now we focused in this piece of price action here. What was happening here? Obviously price was breaking highs, moving to the upside, breaking highs, right? And then obviously this was the last break of structure that we had from H4, right? I just want to go ahead and identify that we had this nice break of structure around those areas there, and then this was our last low. Then we knew that okay, price has to come back, right, to this order block down here, right? We knew that price has to come back for that order block. So now we saw this nice change of character. Then after that, we started looking for opportunities to the downside because of we knew that price had to come back for that area there. Then this was discussed as well on my YouTube. The first entry was discussed on my YouTube, and then I discussed it with my students as well. But then unfortunately, we were not. Most of us were not able to take this one. We were not able to take this one because I think it happened in the morning while everyone was still asleep. I think that's the reason why. So obviously we started seeing this as the first touch, second touch, anticipating the third touch. We identified our H1 order block, which is this one up here, right? And then we knew that price will most probably come for that and start pushing to the downside. So let me just play price. So price came straight for our order block and then gave us the third touch, as you guys can see, right? First touch, second touch, third touch, and came straight for our order block, which is this H1 order block here. Then our entry should have been exactly there, and then our stop loss just above the order block. Our entry should have been here. Our first entry, right, should have been there on the third touch and the on the mitigation of that order block. We could have had a very nice sniper entry there. Then obviously we were gonna be looking for this low as our first target, but then we know that price has a very high potential of pushing further to the downside. But unfortunately, this trade I was not involved. But then this was one of the best that we could have capitalized from, right? And then price started pushing back up, started pushing to the downside after that. Then we couldn't re-enter there. Unfortunately, we couldn't re-enter again there. We had another opportunity to re-enter, but then unfortunately we couldn't. Then price started pushing to the downside. We could have easily walked away with like 7% out of this trade easily, but unfortunately we were not there, right? So as you guys can see, our take profit should have been hit, and then we broke structure here. So this was the area that we looked at. We broke structure here, right? So after breaking structure, we identified our areas, and then we wanted to see how price will get to those areas, because in this one we had multiple areas. We had this one, we had this one. So I think we used this one because it was in correlation with the pattern, right? So price started playing around, as you guys can see. And then now we started having those entries ready, right? Because we knew that okay, price is giving us a pattern already. Then our entry was, or immediately when price got to those areas, started seeing this nice pattern building up, and then we were able to catch this one. Very nice, super clean pattern, broke structure, came back to this order block here, and then our entry was exactly here, right? Our entry was exactly here, and then stop loss super tight somewhere on those areas there. I'll also show you guys the entries if I get the screenshots. Also show you the screenshots on my uh I'll also try to put the screenshot somewhere around there so that you guys can see. Then we were looking for to see if price was gonna push all the way to the downside, maybe somewhere around those areas here, 17%, because we also had an order block somewhere around those areas, right? And then this is what happened after that. We can even just speed everything up a bit, and price started pushing to the downside almost immediately, as you guys can see. Then at this moment, after price, if you can check on smaller time frame, why is this not stopping? We change character, we had a nice order block again. So after price started pushing to the downside, taking out the low, let me just go to 15 minutes to show you guys what I'm talking about. So right, we knew that okay, this order block was mitigated. Price started pushing to the downside. This was the last low that we had, right? This was the last high, the last low that we had. Price came back, broke the low, came back for the order block. We had a nice order block here, and then price started pushing to the downside. So as soon as price broke this low here, right? As soon as price broke this low here, we moved to break even, right? We moved straight to break even, and then we let price play. We let price play, so we can easily go to H1. Um, so that this can move a bit faster. So this was one of the best because didn't even take so much time. I think we were able to for like 2 days, or I think we were holding this over the weekend. I'm not sure about that, right? But then this was one of the best. Then after we took out the low, price completely took off, right? Price completely took off. Obviously, we were looking to take some partials around these areas here, obviously, because remember, gents, we remember, gents, we 90% of the time price do go back to where the pattern started, right? 90% of the time. So obviously this pattern started here. So this is the area that we want to see uh price going for, right? So this was one of the best trades that we took this quarter, the last quarter. So obviously we are in a new quarter, gents. We should focus more into reaching our goals, into um drafting our goals for this quarter. So fortunately, we were able to meet most of our plans for the last quarter, which was really good for us. And I really hope you guys were able um, to meet some of your goals like for the last quarter. But then if you didn't, it's fine. You can go back to the drawing board and then make sure you get a proper plan, and then so that you can be able to reach your goals, gents. So yeah, gents, that was the top 5 pairs that we took this past quarter, which is the first quarter. So we're looking forward to the next quarter. We have our plans ready, and then we are really working hard towards that, gents. I hope you guys are working hard as well. Our gents. So yeah, gents, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys took a lot of value out of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really hope you guys were able to see how we manage our trades, how we get into trades, and then how we exit, the reason why we exit. So this was one of the best videos that I have ever did. So I really hope you guys took a lot of value out of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, do all that great stuff for the YouTube algorithm. If you are not yet subscribed, consider subscribing. If you have a question, feel free to leave your question in the comment section. I will make time to get to your questions as well. So that, gents, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Our gents.